Well, hello, good evening. Welcome to another live episode of the O&G Strike Zone. Bryan Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, Marcus Green, all three of us back live again, back here in one spot. The band is back together. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
What's going on, Bryan? The three amigos. We got Marcus coming back looking like Malcolm X, and salam alaikum. My brother. Great to have you back.
Well, it's good to be back.
Yeah, come on, don't sell it short, Marcus. People want to know, man. How was the assignment that you were out on for the last month? It's been a month.
I don't know if it's been that long.
Okay, maybe
and this is it was good. Just recommitting to some things. So I was making sure everything's tight and right.
Gotcha. How things happening in Tallahassee, Kelvin?
Well, man, this weekend is going to be awesome. We got a lot going on. Mainly, we know today was FAMU Day at the Capitol. So, we got, we had a legislative presence there. And, we got a president search going on. So, with the session get ready to end, the anticipation is there's about 6 names that are going to get dwindled to 3. Hadn't been a whole lot of leaks on that. There's some names early, but there hadn't been a whole lot of leaks.
No, okay.
as normal. So, but we got that going on, and then of course we got the orange and green, the spring game coming up also this weekend. So
all right. And we just finished the 1887 strikes campaign, which we'll talk about a little in the show. And a full week or weekend of action out on the diamonds, and the court, and
track and fields,
and on the track and field. So lots to talk about in this show coming up. I want to thank everybody for coming in early. I want to remind you to go ahead and hit the thumbs up and the like button early on in the show. Get it out of the way if you can, first and foremost. Secondly, we want to share the show. Share the show with your family and friends. Let them know who we are. Let them know that you're a regular watcher of the show. We discover and find new listeners every week, and we're extremely thankful for that. And that's all a part of the great folks who are watching us. You might be watching us on the Black College Sports Network pages on Facebook, on X. You might even be watching us on the Jericho Broadcast Network's YouTube page, MyJBN Online. And you also could be watching us on our O&G Strike Zone, IG, X, Facebook pages. And so please make sure you are subscribed to all those pages. Coming up at the bottom of hour 1, our special guest will be an introduction to the family. The newest FAMU equipment director, Brandon Randolph, will be coming in and joining the show. So good opportunity to kind of talk athletic equipment and gear, and find out how he sort of carries the torch from Donald Reed, and who's now down in South Florida with our old ball coach, and find out how he's putting his own mark on this position. So Brandon Randolph will be joining us at the bottom of the hour. All right. Did I miss anything in the intro before we get to the shout outs? Anything that I might have skipped over, skimmed over, et cetera, et cetera?
Brandon's going to be on at top of hour 2.
Okay. Well, thank you for the correction. I was looking down at our notes, and so top of hour 2. So that just gives us more time in the opening hour to give the shout outs and then talk about the great weekend that baseball and softball had. And so we'll do that here coming up shortly. But we always like to give a shout out to the people who are in the chat rooms, and it is a welcoming place. Don't feel scared. I mean, I know people are a little shy about being around snakes, but these rattlers don't bite unless you come in and start throwing rocks. And then
we strike. You're right. We don't bite. We strike.
There you go. Friendly folks. So make sure to come in and say hey and join and be a part of the conversation. You want to. Some of y'all are out there watching, and you just kind of what they talking about today. Come on in. Say hello. We'll recognize you as best as we can. Let me first say hello to Jimmy Mack, first one in the building. Jimmy Mack, good to see you as always. Good evening. Definitely got to keep that winning going. Bull also checking in. Appreciate you, Bull, coming in early. Ken, Alice, checking in. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Some guy named Kelvin decided to check in early. Few people. Yeah, that's where I hear he's from. I know Melissa Wilson. Yep. Hey, Melissa. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. Meredith coming in as well. Thank you for being a JBN subscriber, Meredith, on our YouTube page. Appreciate you. Demetra. What is this, Demetra? Me? Oh no, only me came up with. I was inspired, Demetra. I was inspired. So you caught it. If you caught it, you caught it. Exactly. We appreciate you. I appreciate you for recognizing the show title. Mary 305. What up, Mary? How you doing? Good to see you. Checking in. Tony, winner, chicken dinner. Good to see you, Tony, man. Had a good weekend with the Final Four and all that stuff. Steve, Mr. Campbell, Coach Campbell coming in.
What's up, Mr. Campbell?
You gonna be in town this weekend? I wonder, Campbell, you gonna be in town this weekend for the Orange and Green? If so, definitely got to make sure to catch up with you when you come in. Gail, thank you, Gail, for being
what's up, Gail?
JBN subscriber. We appreciate you. Mary 305.
Hey, Auntie.
Checking in, a JBN subscriber as well. Iria Young. What up, Iria?
What's up, Iria?
Appreciate you checking in. Softball team looking elite. Big weekend. So all kinds of stuff. James Austin.
I'm gonna give him the high because he old school, but I'm gonna make him the high if he ain't the high.
Okay. The draft is, I don't know, is it supposed to happen tomorrow? It used to happen on Thursdays. So if it's gonna happen, I would imagine it's happening tomorrow.
I don't know. I've got a feeling. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
So what are they doing? I mean, Coach told us they were going to do that particular format. What am I missing?
Well, we might get into something potentially later. I don't know yet, for sure.
Okay. All right. Look forward to it. So stay tuned, James. You're in the right spot to get that information. What up, Drew? Good to see you. Appreciate you checking in. Drew and I had a great conversation on Sunday Sports Wrap regarding the House settlement, which, wouldn't you know, Kelvin, there's no new news. Here we are, 48 hours since the House settlement hearing on Monday, and, nothing new. What, they tabled discussions? Is that what happened? So, yeah, nothing new to come out of it. But if you are interested, we did a good deep dive on it a little bit, just kind of setting it up. You can go listen to the Sunday's BCSN Sports Wrap on the BCSN Pod Zone, where you can find all of our shows that are part of the Black College Sports Network. What up, little baby? Checking in. Good to see you. Edwin Moore.
What's up, Instigator?
Good to have you, Edwin. My girl Liv checking in.
Olivia.
Live for hoops or die lonely. There's a lot of people out there still, if they didn't know, they still out there trying Liv, man. I don't understand it. They trying her, and she keeps coming up with factual, good information. So I would encourage you to go check out Live for Hoops.
She's an insider.
Yeah, she's moved into insider status.
Yeah, she's insider.
Yeah.
Live bombs. I call them live bombs. Whenever she drops some intake, she dropped some nice stuff over the last week. I call them live bombs because and then of course you will have the random dude that'll try to pick her off and say she doesn't know what she's talking about, and 9 times out of 10 they're wrong. 10 out of 10 they're wrong. Excuse me. Let me speak on that with some factuality. 10 out of 10 times they're wrong. So keep up the great work, Liv. You're doing a great job keeping people updated on what's happening in the transfer portal. I was looking at the site a minute ago. A lot of names still on there without a new school. A lot of names, no new school yet, including 16 of the 17 Florida A&M men and women's basketball players. No new school as far as I last checked. So great opportunity if you want to catch up. Marcus. Hey, Marcus. Thanks for being a JBN subscriber. Middle Georgia in the house. EA. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. Ashton. Good to see you, Ashton. Appreciate
What's up,
you.
Pico?
Yeah. Tamara T.
What's up, Tamara?
JBN subscriber as well. Let me see. Road Dog in the house.
What's up, Road Dog?
Checking in from Tampa, Florida. Good to have you, Mike. Vaughn checking in.
Who won, Vaughn? Who won? Give us a scoop.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I caught it. It was the softball versus football home run derby was happening. I saw a little bit of it live on IG. So yeah, let's give us some updates. Not
high, by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah, get it right now. Get it right. Going down here, Kylan checking in. Good to see you, Kylan. Thanks for checking out. Ezekiel Love. Good to see you, Ezekiel. Demetra says softball team won. There's a surprise.
Yeah.
There should have been an over-under. Like softball should have been, or football team should have been spotted like 7 home runs, like a 7 home run advantage to start or something like that. So anyway, I'm just curious who was pitching. So see, when I say seven runs, football would have covered. 28-24. Softball won. So
awesome. Great job.
Now, that's the kind of event that, look, if we're really thinking, you know what they should have been doing? Every home run ball should have been sponsored. Just saying.
Maybe that's something to build upon next year when they have the next one. That's a great idea.
Yeah. All right. I just we do these things, but we do them. So we got to get to a point where when we do them the first time, get somebody in and saying, hey, even if it were just $100 a home run ball. I mean, what would that have been? Somebody $5,200. I don't know.
It's easy to come up with ideas.
Yeah, I know. Execution. I get it. Okay. Look, Erie said back in the day they used to play the Alphas for a canned food drive. All right. That's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Johnny Thornton checking in. Good to see you, Johnny. Thanks for being a JBN subscriber as well. Eagerly awaiting his trip to Tallahassee, man. Johnny cannot hold back. And he's so excited to come to Tallahassee. I hope the rest of the Eagles are. I hope they're as excited to come to Tallahassee as Johnny Thornton is. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I'm just glad he's excited now. Now's the time for him to be excited. He may not be as excited was, about 4 games into the season, but
now this right here is the worst idea I've probably ever heard right there. I was wondering what could football invite softball over to do, and I don't think I had Oklahoma drills on the list. That sounds like a horrible idea, especially when we were in first place. Now if we were in last place, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead. Let's do some Oklahoma drills. We need to get tougher. But the last thing we need is for our girls, our ladies, to be getting hurt or hurting themselves. I don't know. Just a thought. I don't even want them running routes for fear of planting wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I don't even want that. Anyway, Sweet, what's up? Good to see you, Sweet. Thanks for checking in. We appreciate you. All right. Well, fellas, let's kind of start there. We mentioned talking about the softball team.
where my broom? Where my broom at?
Well, you hold on. Them, you can't. We ain't go. Not quite as sweet with them.
Okay.
But,
All right.
Yeah. No. You got to put the. But the Lady Rattlers went to Jackson, Mississippi. Right. A battle for first place on the line. We were a half a game up going into this contest. I believe a half a game up on Jackson. And as I said last week, Kelvin, this was going to come down to a battle of pitching versus hitting, right? I mean, Jackson State right now hitting in the conference, they are number 1, I think, in terms of average. And no, we're not too bad either. I think we're sitting at number 3. But what we had the advantage, I thought going in, is we had the pitching.
Yep.
We're number 1 in the SWAC in pitching, number 1 in fielding, and I thought that kind of played out a little bit over the weekend. As Friday they moved around the scheduling. On Friday it was a doubleheader. It was supposed to be a doubleheader on Saturday, but they moved around the games a bit. So on Friday you had a doubleheader. Game 1 against Jackson State. We ended up losing that contest 5-4. Gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the first. After scoring a run, gave up 3 in the bottom of the first. Gave up another 2. And what's that?
Yeah, walks. We had a series of walks, I think. And the pitcher was pulled. Our best pitcher was pulled in that first inning.
Yeah, I want to mention. Excuse me. I'm going to say something about that in a second. I don't know. Zoriana, obviously, pitcher of the year. She got touched up a little bit in the championship against Jackson State last year, and seeing how this started, I wonder if maybe some nerves or just didn't get it across the plate, huh?
Just had I think it was 3 or 4 walks in the first 4 or 5 batters.
Right. Well, not a good start.
Yeah, but she redeemed herself later.
Okay. So we did manage to get a run in the 5th. Got 2 more in the 7th as we were trying to rally, but unable to finish off the first game, losing 5-4. Game 2, much better performance. We did give up another run in the first inning, second game in a row, but then went, I believe, let me see, who's on the mound or in the circle for game number 2. Game number 2, let me pull up the box score here real quick. Amari Brown was in the circle for game number 2, and I've really been impressed with Amari's pitching of late in these big games. But anyway, after the first inning, she kind of settled in and held Jackson State scoreless, and then she kind of helped herself in the top of the 6th inning, leading off, or actually in the 6th inning, hitting a double, a two RBI double in the 6th inning, scoring 2. And then Brianna Duggins kind of doubled up a little bit later, bringing Brown in. And so Fam got 3 in the top of the 6th inning, closed it out with a 3-1 victory. Game number 3 on Saturday was an epic game. That was a fun game on Saturday. And, I don't know if anybody got to watch it, just following along with the stats. It was a heck of a contest as Zoriana Hughes got back on the mound in game number 3, and she got back into looking like the all-star, all-conference pitcher that she is. And how about the defense for the Lady Rattlers? In total, Jackson State only had 5 hits. We defeated Jackson State 2-0 in this contest, held them to 5 hits. And more importantly, the defense and the pitching forced Jackson State to leave all 5 runners on base. And I'm not mistaken, I would say at least 4 of those 5 were in running or scoring position. The big play came in the top of the 5th inning. Jackson State had a no-hitter going into the 5th inning until Brianna Duggins had doubled in the 5th inning to sort of break up the no-hitter. And then I believe 1 or 2 batters later, Keely Spooner hits a 2-run blast to center field, breaks up the shutout, puts FAMU up 2-0, and we carry it off and pick up the shutout. So 2 out of 3, FAMU takes care of business. Does it give you guys some confidence? What are your thoughts there as, just on the overall performance of the team? Big time moment having to play one of the top teams in the conference.
Go. I'm gonna let the new guy go first.
We haven't heard your analysis and taken a while, Marcus. Share some with us.
Well, I was really impressed because we knew that this was basically a rematch of the championship game championship games last year. So I was eager to see how the teams played. And I think we pretty much served notice that there's not going to be much drop off with a new coach and a lot of the new players and experience that left from 2024. So I'm really pleased about that. And I wasn't sure how game 1 went. I couldn't see any online statistics to see if it was a comeback or if there was a lot of things that happened that contributed to the loss. But overall, the team came back and performed well in the doubleheader on Saturday to come out on top. So I think it's looking pretty good so far.
What you got, Kay?
I agree, and I'm looking, at the standings and the fact that Bethune and Jackson State still 1 game in a loss column behind us, but they 2 games in the at the halfway point. They 2 games behind us in the win column because they had a game between them that was I think rained out,
Postponed, something like that.
Yeah. So we sitting in first halfway through. We played a lot of the top teams already. So it's obvious pitching is our strong suit. And, we're going to be tough to beat, man. We don't make a bunch of errors. We have timely hitting. So, we just overall got a really, really nice squad, and they are gelling along with the staff. The staff is doing a wonderful job managing this group. We did have quite a few returning players on this team. So, but yeah, we're where we are where we are accustomed to being, winning and beating tigers and bears and lions and
Oh my!
wildcats and all that. So all,
Oh
all
yeah.
all all is right in the world.
All is well. All is well. Just to give a standings update, again, softball split up into divisions still, unlike baseball. So right now in the East, we are sitting in first, sitting at 11-4, 15-7 overall. Now, as Kelvin mentioned, there's a half a game difference in the total number of games. We played 15 total. Bethune and Jackson have only played 14 that delay. So both of them are sitting a game and a half behind us at 9-5. Also interesting to note, at 9-6, literally
Coach
two
P.
games. Coach P's Bama State Hornets are sitting there buzzing around as well. So
Yeah.
we gotta be mindful of them. Now over on the west side, Prairie View A&M has an 11-13 record in the West. Texas Southern 10-5.
11-3.
Excuse me, huh?
You said 11-13, 11-3.
Prairie View is 11-3.
Yeah.
Texas Southern is 10-5. So
Right.
sorry if I misspoke. Now, just looking at a few rankings of some things happening around, I know HBCU Go posted their Power 5 for the SWAC in softball. Prairie View's at 1, FAMU's at 2, Texas Southern at 3, Jackson State 4, Bethune 5. And, unfortunately, the sad part is none of these teams have gotten a chance to kind of play each other. So, it's kind of is what it is, right? You don't really know. You just don't know until we get to tournament time. Now,
the East is stronger.
Well, okay.
They got more depth. They got more quality teams.
Prairie View has been a quality team over the last couple seasons. I don't doubt you with the East.
They're one team though. The point is because they're still in the division. It's kind of like what we talk about when we talk about football or almost every other sport that split up the East and West. Because Alabama State, Jackson State, and FAMU is in the East, and they win most of the championships. That side is the stronger side. I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with. Don't say nothing about whether Prairie View this year is good enough to win. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's better competition within conference on the East side.
Okay. Now, when I go and look at the Division I polls for week number 9 from the blog site HBCU Softball, that's at HBCU Softball on X. They even have a page, but I don't know. It hasn't been updated in some time, but they're pretty active on X now, and they do a Division I and Division II rankings. So in Division I, the number 1 team is Tennessee State in terms of softball. Number 2 is Howard, which is interesting because I think we have beaten Howard this season. So I just want to make note of that. And then you have Florida A&M at 3, followed by Alabama State at 4, and Prairie View is at 5. So,
and let me just say the reason I think that is because when you look at an overall record out of conference, ours may not be as strong as other teams because we play much stronger competition out of conference. It's a huge difference. All schedules are not the same.
Huge difference. So I love to see what Coach Beal is doing out there, and again, I really love the 3-woman rotation that we have with Zoe, Amari Brown, and
Sam Smith.
And also what's really cool to watch, and even in most series. Now this series wasn't the case, but in most of these series, Amari and Sam they help themselves because they hit. So
Yes.
they really they do a great job of hitting, and so again, just a great job by the ladies. So up next, the ladies are back home this weekend. So I'm looking forward to getting a chance to get over to the Diamond and say hey to the ladies and see them live. They're hosting Alabama A&M this weekend. First game is Friday at 6 p.m. over at Veronica Wiggins Field at the University Softball Complex. And then the doubleheader is 1 and 3. So I look forward to being there for the 1 o'clock. Hopefully as much of the 3 o'clock as I can catch before I walk across the street for the spring game. So encouraging all of you coming to Tallahassee this weekend, make a point to come over to Veronica Wiggins Field. Yeah, bring some money because, you know, we got to make sure we're there to support. I mean, we are in first place, and we're keeping the winning tradition alive. Coach Beal's doing a great job. The team is outstanding, so there has been no lost step. Yeah, there's no drop off. So this team is hot, and they need your support. And this will be a good weekend to hopefully get another sweep and keep winning against Alabama A&M. So actually, the next 2 weekends, this weekend and the following weekend, home weekends. The following week, they got Bethune-Cookman. So, you know, if you haven't been to a softball game, get out there. And also, before we go to break, just a reminder, I know some of you have talked about, hey, what happened to Rattlers Plus? Well, if you were watching our show last week when we had A.D. Suggs on the show, you know, she was up front, admitted that there's some challenges right now that the university's working on, and it is being worked on. So hopefully by this series or next, everything will be kind of back up and running so that those of us who are Rattlers Plus subscribers can actually watch some of these games and have it with some audio too. That would be nice, right?
Absolutely. By the way, I'll wait till we get to that segment, but I do have an update in terms of the spring game.
Beautiful. All right, so nice tease there by Kelvin. We'll talk about that when we come back out of the break, and get your brooms out because we got to talk about the sweep that happened over at Moore Kittles.
What my belt? I have the belt when you get back.
All right, look at that. We got a tease on the spring game, brooms and belts. Get them out, folks. We talk about what FAMU baseball did over the weekend, so be ready. You're watching the ONG Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We will be back in just a moment.
Planning an event? From weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural tastes, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Bryan, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus. What you got there, Kate? What you got there? Oh,
A blue balloon.
that would be a broom. How many?
Yeah, a blue balloon. Got all that Jackson State blue on it. I know it look more like Southern, but
that broom looks like it's been through something, like it's been beaten on.
oh yeah, it's B2A, B2A. What? Not just any belt, a snake skin belt.
Snake skin belt.
Because it whips differently.
That's
What you talking about? Yes, sir. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Thought y'all was gonna come to Tallahassee, huh? Thought y'all was gonna come to Tallahassee. Okay. Before we went to the break, Kelvin, you teased that you had some intel, some new information for us. Why don't you go ahead and share?
I have it on good authority that the spring game, there will be no draft. They're not going to split the teams up evenly like they've done the past couple of years. It's going to be one of those, the offense against the defense. So that will be the setup for the spring game. Offense versus the defense with a point system.
Okay, so one of those point systems where, defense will get points for stops, etc.
3 and outs, I guess. Score, interceptions, fumbles, sacks, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Marcus, any reaction? I don't want to poo-poo it, but any reaction with that announcement, Marcus? Man, you're kind of lukewarm on it, is what I'm hearing. It feels like you're kind of like, man.
Well, I mean, you get a chance if it's straight up offense versus defense. You can have your ones versus ones. You don't have a mismatch. Ones versus twos. So you get a chance to really see who can go against good on good, and then sprinkle in key reserves. So in that sense, it's totally different from last year where we didn't have enough players to even
do that,
something like that. So you get a chance to really evaluate and see where your needs are, especially ahead of the transfer portal opening up on that Monday. I guess it's that Monday or sometime that week after our spring game. So you can, have exit interviews if need be, and, start hitting the portal to see what gaps need to be filled. And you might get a false sense. You might get a false sense if you have, say, the starting offense against the second team defense and vice versa.
What do you think might be? I mean, you just mentioned a few things, Marcus. Kelvin, anything you thought? Why the change? Why? Because and obviously, coaches, it's his right to change it however he wants to change it. So I'm not questioning that, but maybe so. I'm kind of like, sweet. What might be in his head as to the change? There've been 2 practices, 2 scrimmages thus far. Could that be something that he's maybe seen, wants to evaluate guys a little bit better. I don't know. You can go anywhere you want on this.
Yeah, I've got a couple of informed thoughts on this.
Mhm.
Part of the reason I don't think they want to split the team up at this point, you
Mhm.
want offense versus defense, because the expectations are high and you have a lot of returning players. And so you want to know, you want your ones on offense and defense working with each other in a true game like environment against the others, so you can get a real assessment, because you're not going to have very many slots open for any kind of transfers and portals. So you got to do a very thorough assessment to see what one or two tweaks or pieces you may need. So I'm that's probably one of the reasons why. And then Marcus kind of alluded to another one, but he came at it from a different angle. People, the transfer portal and NIL is a real thing, and you kind of want to be careful how much you project publicly, because there are other schools, coaches watching, these shaded agents, and they are and will reach out to people who own squads. So, you know, that is a factor, an element as you do spring ball now. You have to consider, as Marcus pointed out, there's going to be the window's going to open. What the transfer portal windows have been open, and you know, you have to be considerate. You have to recruit the players on your team as well as players from other teams. So I think that may be part of it also, because we got a lot of good players. When you got a lot of good players, people watch.
They do. They do. We have to make it a point of emphasis to let people know the game scheduled at 4:00 Eastern will not be streamed. Okay, so I know that's been a thing the last couple of seasons, 2 or 3 seasons, right? Not this year. No streaming. The only way that you will get a chance to watch this game is be in Tallahassee. I think tickets are $20, if I saw correctly. So
$10 for kids the day of the game, and that price also includes Cupid, who will perform after the game.
okay. The seating as of right now, unless something changes, and you heard 80 Suggs if you were watching the show last week, it will be on the east side, which is the side where the students and band usually sit. So, okay, there's that. And if you're not going to be in attendance, the best way to catch up on what's happening is make sure you're following us on X. Also, follow Gerald Thomas. I see GT3 in the chat. Make sure to follow him on X. And for some additional bonus coverage, following the spring game, the ONG StrikeZone and HBCU Game Day will be partnering up to bring you live post-game coverage and reaction as Vaughn Wilson, Kelvin Rozier, myself will be getting a chance to talk to coaches and some players following the spring game, and give you guys a real sense of some commentary, interviews, and thoughts following the action. So appreciate Vaughn for helping to set that up. Appreciate FAMU Athletics, FAMU Football for being willing and open to doing that as well. So looking forward to this weekend and the coverage. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Demetra says, and free parking. Thank you, Demetra, for free parking for that information. Road Dog.
And yes, you can tailgate.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you can tailgate. There's another little thing. I think that was still being decided on. So there is tailgating allowed. I don't know if that price includes complimentary water, Mike. You know that. But I'm sure concessions will be open for you to purchase water.
That's
Or
right.
if you're tailgating, drink water along with whatever else you're drinking out in the parking lots. So I want to see it loaded. I want to see a lot of people out there tailgating. Tailgate. What time are they opening the parking lots, Kelvin?
Well, it's not a regular game day, so there's no reserve parking. So as far as I know, there's nothing to prevent you from coming as early as you want to come.
Ooh. All right. So I'm calling the real tailgaters to be there, tailgate late morning, and then at 1:00, I'm challenging you tailgaters to stroll over to the softball field, to the softball diamond, hopefully catch game 1. Yep. And then I know if you want to stroll on back to the parking lot, kind of mid-game refreshments or whatever you need to do, top off the cup. You can do all that and then head to either the spring game or float back. I mean, it's just a great opportunity to float back and forth, I think. And we got to really do that. So I'm going to really continue to push that in this platform while we got it, and encourage guys and gals to tailgate, get there early, get there safely, but then also make sure you go check out softball and then do there. So Edwin said, will water be tariff impacted, or has it been in stock? That's a great question. I don't know. Hopefully the water's not coming from China, Edwin. At this point in time, it might cost a whole lot if it's coming from China.
I mean, we in Florida, so hopefully we got water here.
hopefully. Okay. Well, our first place baseball team, first place hosting Jackson State this weekend, second weekend in a row that the Rattlers have been at home at Moore Kittles, and they would go on to get their second consecutive sweep as they took care of business against Jackson State 7-3 in game 1, 11-1 in game 2, and then 11-6 in game 3.
It's a lot of 11s.
Whew. Yeah, 7s and 11s. I mean, it's a good roll.
Yes, sir.
Now
Snake Eyes.
Hey. The Rattlers did a great job this weekend. It really got a great job I think what's really been impressive over this series, Prairie View last week, Jackson State this week, has been the pitching. The pitching has been phenomenal for most of the starters. Now, game number 1, our normal starter, of course, on game 1s is Caleb Granger. Caleb only faced 4 batters in game number 1. Any updates on what was going on with Caleb? We can only presume something a little injury related, or something happened where he normally goes a full game as he's been doing, but this time he only went 4 batters, and then Cody Williams kind of came in and filled in, and he did a good job over the next 5 innings or so. Any updates on that, Kelvin?
So I don't have an update. I hadn't got to the game yet when he went out, but my understanding was that he did suffer some type of arm injury, and that he was getting an MRI, but I don't know anything more than that.
Okay. Well, you guys definitely keep Caleb in your thoughts and prayers, and hopefully it's nothing major that puts his health at risk or delays his ability. Brady Popple was probably the man of the day in game number 1, as he had 3 base hits. Every FAM starter in the lineup got on base safely. Of course, FAMU scored their highest inning in the 6th, where they put 3 runs up in the 6th. We out-hit Jackson State 13-11 in game number 1. The pitching staff of game 1, as I mentioned, and I just want to kind of pull up the box score because it wasn't Cody by himself, but I believe after Cody, Carson Kelly came in and pitched 3 innings. Very good job by him as well, as he only gave up 3 hits over those 3 innings and 1 earned run. But in total, we held Jackson State to 3 for 17 with runners in scoring position. So that was pretty good. Facing 42 batters, we allowed 15 ground balls, 4 fly balls, while striking out 6. And that's always a good thing. Keep the ball on the ground, as they say. You know, you start letting the ball get up in the air, and it's can be trouble for you. So a good game number 1. Now, game number 2 on Saturday was a gem. That was a beauty. I mean, that one right there, game number 2, in which we crushed, I mean, with a big C, crushed. I mean, so beat them so bad, they had to call the mercy rule out, fellas. They had to call mercy. We beat them 11-1 as we jumped on Jackson State with a 5-run second inning. Then scored in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th inning before they waved the white flag and said, enough, we can no mas. And so in that game, the freshman from Tallahassee, young man by the name of Garrett Workman, I'm telling you, Coach Shute, he finds it, doesn't he? He just finds it, man. Garrett has been on a roll coming into this game. He had won 3 straight. He'd been pitching well. I don't think he allowed maybe no more than 2 in one game. I think he had a pair of 1s, and so this one would be a 1 as he pitched a complete 7-game contest. Only gave up 3 hits in the game. We got 2 home runs in this contest, all of them by William Brown. And Jay Campbell. Jay Campbell, another outstanding freshman, right? Freshman. Each of them had 3 hits. So it was a big day for the freshmen. I mean, what a freshman class, right? Shute talked about how he was kind of excited. You know, he undersold it. You know, I understand Coach Shute doing that, but because they're freshmen, right? You don't know.
You don't know, right?
But we know now. These kids can play and they can pitch, man. Also, Justin Cruz and William Brown had multiple extra base hits in the game. Brown, with the 2 homers, had 4 RBIs, and overall had a great night. 5 at-bats, 3 hits, 2 runs scored, 4 RBIs. It was a great day for William Brown. Jay Campbell in 4 appearances, 3 hits, 1 run, and an RBI as well. Justin Cruz, 4 at-bats, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs in the contest. So just an overall dominating day by the team. And then, of course, the third game was the game that sealed the sweep as FAMU won that game 11-6. Another good day for William Brown as he had another 3-hit day in 4 appearances, scored 3 times, had 3 RBIs. In total, I did the numbers, fellas. Let me see. Where's my stats at? He did William Brown on the day, 13 at-bats, 7 hits, 6 runs, 7 RBIs in total. Brady Popple, 9 at-bats, 6 runs, 6 hits. Outstanding weekend for Brady. Jay Campbell, 5 hits and 13 total at-bats, 3 RBIs. I mean, it was a good day for the lineup. Another outstanding job by the team. Any thoughts there, guys, on baseball over the weekend?
Well, I'll just say that we're first in the conference, 11-1, or is it 12-1? 11-1 in conference.
11-1.
and we have an overall winning record. And I just wanted to make sure I point this out. Out of all the seniors on our team, and we have around 8, I believe.
Do we?
all-
We have 8 seniors?
yeah, but they all pitchers,
Ah, okay.
right?
Okay.
And they're not, and only one of them, Caleb Granger, is a starting pitcher. We do have one position player who starts. That's a senior, and Jalen Niles, who's shortstop. Everybody else on the team who's starting at a field position, as well as 2 of our pitchers, as well as the SWAC Player of the Year, in my opinion, by far, Popple, will all be back next year. So you're looking at the present and the future of FAMU baseball, and so this team does everything. Here's the interesting thing: what I would say, I was able to watch all 3 games about this team. No, I don't think I made it to Sunday's game, but they do everything good, nothing bad, maybe nothing elite, but they do everything really good. So, they can beat you a lot of ways. They can beat you hitting, they can beat you pitching. They have great, really good defense. And the games we've played Mercer. We've played Mercer about 5 times now. We beat them only once. 4 times. We beat them once so far. But we played really close games against Mercer. As of last week, I don't know if they still ranked this week, but as last week, Mercer is a ranked team. They were like 23 or something in a poll, in one of the baseball polls. And during the middle of the week, we played them middle of the week this week and lost by like 2 runs. And we played a bunch of freshmen, and we had our freshman designated hitter and sometimes starting third baseman pitching. And that's this first time I've seen him pitch. I know he pitched in high school some, but so we're experimenting playing against top out of conference teams competitively. So Coach Shoup and the staff had done a phenomenal job of putting this team together. The players are doing a phenomenal job of taking coaching and executing. And they just gonna be a really tough out because they really they have a large room for error.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Marcus, get some thoughts in there.
My thought is I was really impressed with Garrett Workman. I mean, I didn't see any of the games, but to come in as a true freshman and to get the wins that he's getting and contributions overall by the team. Because once again, Coach Shoup, when he came on in preseason, and he was like, I don't know. I got a lot of young guys that have talent, and I'm not sure how they're going to play. And it was my recollection, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, is that he was a little concerned about the hitting because a lot of hitting left after last year.
Your power.
Well, it seems like, in terms of power, yes, but it seems like we're
doing
still
pretty
good. Well,
yes,
yeah, still pretty good. And I don't know if we have as much power, from home runs, but we're manufacturing runs and being solid at the plate.
We got good power. Now it may not be as juice as the previous 2 years, but it's ain't far from it. We still got guys who's stroking it. So
you see the standings currently sitting 1 game in front of Bethune and Texas Southern. And again, the beautiful thing about the SWAC baseball, you get 1 series. Everybody plays everybody right now. So, or you play 10 out of 11 opponents.
Right.
And the one opponent that we do not play this year is Southern, who we have played, didn't play well against them earlier in the year. So that's the only conference opponent that we don't play this year. And so there you see the standings. I had one other quick point regarding, I went and just checked out the SWAC statistics, and I'm only talking conference because I think at this point of the season, I'm only going to mention conference. I'm not going to talk overall statistics, right? Because we're almost at the halfway point in the season.
Right.
Right now, we are number 3 in terms of batting average sitting right behind Alabama State and Bethune-Cookman. We are number 1 in pitching ERA. Pitching ERA right now in conference games is 3.65. That is about 2.5 runs less than Alabama State and Bethune. So, again, the top 3 teams in hitting and pitching are all from, guess where? The East, the old East. The 3 teams that you see, 2 of the 3 that you see right there. And I think, when you see Alabama State there sitting 1 game behind Texas Southern, I think all of that's going to level out because, of course, that's the beauty of the scheduling.
Right.
We've got this weekend a series against Mississippi Valley State. The guys' baseball's traveling to Ada Bena, and so you see Valleys right now, they're sitting at 4-8. But it is what it is right now. I think this is the beauty. We're going to get a real evaluation of this team in the upcoming week. Yep. I want to make a quick mention here. Garrett Workman, the SWAC pitcher of the week, the lefty from Tallahassee. Again, those are the numbers against Jackson State: 7 whole innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, no walks, 7 struck out, had a game ERA of 1.29. That's his 4th consecutive win on the season. He had a rough couple of starts back in February, but he has been pitching really well of late, especially in these conference matchups. So I will not be surprised if Caleb is not back for game 1 against Mississippi Valley, if Garrett doesn't get the nod to be the opener for game 1. Just a guess. No, don't have any intel on that, but just a guess. So there you can see the baseball players of the week and some of the other people as well that had the honors. All right. That's gonna wrap up the baseball. Yeah, you did mention the fact that we did recently play Mercer today. Yeah, ended up losing to them 8. It was a close game until like the last 2 innings or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, coming up on the other side of this break, we're going to talk to Brandon Randolph, and he is the new FAMU equipment director. We're going to talk to him on the other side. And so you guys lock in and hang with us. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network, and we will be back in just a moment.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
All right, welcome back to the OMG Strike Zone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus, and welcome to the show for the first time, but not a stranger to the family, none other than Brandon Randolph. Brandon, of course, now is the Director of Equipment Operations at FAMU. Brandon, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here.
All right, glad to have you. Glad to have you on. So why don't we kind of start by taking us down the path that brought you back to FAMU. Of course, you know you're a graduate of FAMU. I believe you're from the either Tallahassee or the Tallahassee area. You spent a couple years in the working in the role working in the equipment department before you went out to Georgia Southern and then down south to FAU, and you're back home. What's the journey been like? Tell us about your background and kind of the journey back to FAMU.
Well, the journey was fun. I'm happy to be home, but it all started honestly back in 95, 96. When my brother played offensive line for Coach Billy Joe. I was a ball boy. And at that age, I was 8, 9, 10, running down the sidelines, walking through the locker room, walking through the field house.
That was you running down the sidelines? I remember those years. You.
Yeah, those were the good days. Then it kept going, and Reuben Carter came in. Nothing changed. After Reuben Carter, Joe Taylor came. I wasn't a ball boy at that point, but when Joe Taylor became coach, I was a student. And so I started working with FAMU football after the MEAC championship year. And so I've been on the grind ever since then. And it was an honor working for Joe Taylor. Like, Joe Taylor is one of the best coaches in HBCU, along with Coach Billy. So to work under him was an honor. And then after him, it was Earl Holmes and interim Coach Fuller and Coach Wood, then Coach Simmons. I worked with all these coaches. I did 1 year with Coach Simmons, which was his first year. And then after that, I went on to Georgia Southern. And I had the honor to work with Coach Lunsford. We went to the bowl game that year. That was the year that Liberty took off. Mm-hmm. And we went to the Cure Bowl, lost by 7. Then the next year was COVID. We didn't know if we was going to have a season. And we mustered out 13 games before anybody else could. Mm. We went on to the New Orleans Bowl, beat La Tech. That was my first bowl win. And from there, everything just started happening. I went on to work with women's rifle. I know you don't hear about rifle on the HBCU level. That's a whole different element that you're not working with on a regular basis. But I had to learn that. I even had the opportunity to shoot the rifles. That I won't do it again, but that was a learning experience for me. And then I went on to work with women's basketball, even though I have a background with women's basketball from my time at FAMU previously, because I was with Coach LaDon Gibson. So at Georgia Southern, I was with Coach Anita Howard, who is now at Mississippi State in the SEC. And then I added women's soccer to my list. And that very first year that I was with women's soccer was the first ever regular season Sun Belt Conference championship for them. Then I had the opportunity to work with cheer and some other sports. I took over the Olympic sports at Georgia Southern. I left football, went to Olympic sports. And then go down to FAU, down in good old Boca, South Florida. I enjoyed my time down there, but I missed being home. So I came home, and the opportunity presented itself that FAMU needed an equipment manager. Because at that time, my cousin Donald Reed went down to FIU with Coach Simmons. And so I'm back home. And I want to give praise and thanks to AD Suggs for giving me this opportunity.
Nice. Man, you got that's deep history, man. Kelvin, is there anybody else that has worked with every FAMU football coach in the last, what are we at? Is that 30 years? Man, that's a heck of a run. Oh, I'm sorry. Besides you, Kelvin. Yeah. That's why I did that. That's why. Go ahead, Kelvin. Get a question in there too.
So, Brandon, I understand and know the hours required of the equipment team. I'm gonna give you a chance to talk about your team and people you got working with you. But then I just want you to go I really want to give people understanding so they have a great appreciation of what you do. Not just with the administrative things you do with ordering equipment and jerseys and reconditioning helmets and all that, but just the sheer hours and the things you have to do. So when you talk about, once you done talked about your team, I kind of want you to talk about, since we have a spring game and softball home on Saturday, kind of talk about when you leave Friday, when you get in Saturday morning, when you're going to go home on Saturday night, and what you doing all that time.
Well, let's start with Monday through Friday.
Go ahead.
Monday through Friday, I'm in the office as early as 4:30 in the morning. Football practice starts at 6:25. So I get there 2 hours before practice. My students come in at 5:30. They set up the field. They make sure everything's on the field. I make sure things are good inside. I go and check with the coaches, make sure they don't need anything added to their position group. And once practice starts, we're rolling. Like there's no sitting down, there's no slowing down. Everything's fast paced. So we do the time slot for practice. Then I don't get home until I just got home about 30 minutes ago. So I'm working 12, 16 hours a day. And Mr. Oja can vouch because he was there with me when I was a student. I've seen him put in the hours, and he don't even do equipment. So working in athletics is not a 9 to 5.
Right.
You got to love what you do. Mm-hmm. To put in the hours that I put in, you got to love what you do. Yep. And I appreciate the group of students I have, because without them, it wouldn't be possible. The students run the equipment room. I direct them. They take care of the laundry. They take care of players coming to the window asking for multiple things. And when I got there, there was a handful of returners. But since then, I got there February 14th. we've brought in maybe 10 more students. And that addition of the 10 has really helped blossom what I'm trying to instill. Because I'm trying to take what I learned at Georgia Southern and FAU and apply it here. The work ethic, that showing them that they can go and do bigger and better things. Let them know that good things do come out of FAMU. So I don't want them to feel like, oh, I go to Florida A&M, ain't nobody gonna get me. No, just keep working. Because I tell them every day, when you're on that practice field, you're not doing it for me. You're interviewing for the coaches that's on the field, because they're the ones that's going to vouch for you in the future.
Good point.
Good point.
Solid. Yeah. Can I follow up with that? I don't know. You may have another one in there, Kelvin, before I throw it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to follow up on that because as I hear you talk about that, Brandon, where does that philosophy come from? About you mentioned about how the students run the room, and they are, obviously they are a major part of making things happen. But is that a philosophy that you picked up and observed through your previous experiences at FAMU, maybe at elsewhere, or is that an industry thing? I mean, can you take us a little bit behind the scenes with the industry of equipment rooms and the management of the management and administration of equipment rooms?
Well, at Georgia Southern, I had to learn that because my previous time at FAM, I was so used to doing things and just working, that when I got to Georgia Southern, I had to learn from them. And they showed me that the students can actually do this work, that they know the ins and outs if you give them the opportunity. You don't have to do the work at all times. Just sit back. Can you do what you have to do as far as the administrative role? And when you have to jump in the equipment room and help the students, do it, but let the students do the work first.
All right. Go ahead, Marcus.
All right. Well, good evening, Mr. Randolph. Thank you for coming on this evening. I guess my question would be, what things or what insights are you planning, or could you bring back from your experiences outside of FAMU that would enhance the equipment room and the overall experience even more?
Well, just for starters, I want to enhance the equipment room from what it is now. So at previous stops, they had space savers. Space savers is where we can store things and keep things from off the floor. I want to incorporate that. I want to get updated space savers. I'm going to talk on the things that I need for the equipment room. A gator that also has a trailer for setting up practice. Because setting up practice and carrying agiles and hand shields and stuff like that, it can wear you out. So having a gator with a trailer is helpful. We have a gator, but we don't have a trailer. And I harp on the space savers because I want to be able to store the helmets in a secure location in the equipment room. We have them on the shelves against the wall, but I want to put them inside of something. Travel purposes. I need a few more trunks. I have trunks, but you can't go wrong with trunks. And the reason I say I need these things is so that it can help the players, so that it's not too much on them that they have to do, because I want to be able to have everything already in store in the equipment room prepared, so that all they got to do is get on the bus, get on the plane, show up to the locker room, and everything's there, just waiting on them.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Are any of those needs, and I'm writing this stuff down, Brandon, so here's my next question. Are any of those needs, that, you know, we got a lot of people who watch our show, listen to our show, that, and, you know, a lot of times when folks like yourself or other coaches come on and we hear about needs, you know, folks just respond. So if someone had, when you talk about trunks, if someone wanted to donate trunks, or you talked about a trailer, or any of those other things that you mentioned, if someone had access to them or had some that they could either buy or donate, how can that happen? Is there a way to do that? I mean, administratively, is that possible?
I believe it's possible. It's just something that I will have to sit down with the AD, and we'll have to go over the logistics of it to make sure we're doing things the right way.
Right. Okay. Well, because I hear you say all that, and not, you know, if you were able to find that out and let us know, either let Kelvin know, whether it be for even our next show, being able to talk about that and put the call out, because you know Rattlers respond, right? Mm-hmm. So you know, and so if we know a kind of a want and the needs, you know, dimensions of what it is you're looking for, I think Rattlers will show up, and we just need to know. I think that's the one thing I have learned over the last few years, especially with this show. I think as long as we know, we can help. But a lot of times in the past, maybe we don't know, and so I think this has been a great venue for a lot of coaches and equipment. We've had Donald on before, and so when there have been needs, we hear the needs and we can help and respond. So I want to kind of put that out there to you. And so, you know, next time you have a conversation with AD Suggs about that, let us know. And then we can, you know, put the call out, put the bat signal up, and, you know, call on Rattler Nation to help out and see how we can be a part of helping you do what you need to do to be great.
Let me follow up real quick on that, because I know that I've gotten a lot of inquiries about this. And I know Saturday is going to be extremely busy for you and your team. But the question is, I know we have merchandise that you put out for basketball season for one game. And you know, and people tend to like that. And I think Donald did really well last year. I think it was last year, where he had it out and had a way of folks being able to buy some of those old Miat jerseys, whether it be in all sports. Mm-hmm. Are you going to be able to do something like that for the spring game?
Well, I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, I know you're going to be real busy and just, you know, so, you know, I just think, you know, when you got that large of a group of people there, I think he was at like the east side, right when you come in the gate. So he was, you know, he had, you know, merchandise, he had the boxes, but he had a few, you know, about 10, 15 hangers with a different kind of jerseys he had. And I know he mentioned that he did pretty good that time doing it. So just, you know, I know you need money for things. If there's a way to do it, you know,
that's the way.
I respect you know, I know how hard you work and how much you got to do. So you may not have the manpower to do it, but if you can find a way to get that done, I think that would be awesome. And if you let me know in time, we'll make sure we'll put it in all our social media stuff and direct people, because I did that for Donald too. Let him, you know, took pictures, let folks know what gate to go to and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I'll talk with my team tomorrow because their report time is 5:30 tomorrow. And we got to get ready for practice, but we're also preparing for the spring game. So I'll have that conversation with them and to see who's going to work the table.
Okay.
And being that it's also a softball weekend, who knows? Might be in 2 different locations.
Okay.
All right.
And I can also come up with a list of things that I would love to have in the equipment room, and I can send it to you.
You got it. Let's make it.
Spread the news that way. And also, if anybody wants to donate, the FAMU Day of Giving link is still live. It's still hot. So feel free to hit me up on what's now X. You can hit me up on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. I'm easy to reach.
Is the FAMU equipment? I know there was an IG and X handle. Are those still active and still, pumping out?
Those are still active. But if someone wants to reach me personally, they can reach me on IG. My IG handle is 19 _ Dolph DOLPH _89. They can find me on Facebook, Brandon Shine Randolph. I'm not going to tell you how Shine came in.
Save that next time you come on the show. Next time you come on the show, you have to tell that story.
But if anybody knows my brother Marcus Farland, you can ask him.
Okay.
And on X, you can reach me at I don't get on it that much. Shine _Randolph.
Oh, okay. Okay. Shine _Randolph. Okay. A couple of questions from the chats. I know you mentioned Donald is your cousin. You said cousin, right?
Yes.
Jimmy Mack had asked, and you were mentioning that history that you had, with FAMU, and asked if you had a chance to work with the Godfather, and if so, what was that experience like?
I didn't get to work with Godfather, but I was a ball boy during the time that he was there. And when I was a student, I worked under Greg Hankton, and Godfather came by just about every day or every other day. And when Godfather walks in the building, everything stops. Whatever you're doing in the equipment room, just stop. Godfather is here. Godfather would come by and tell us all kinds of stories, from how the building got built and why the office is where it's located. Godfather taught me a lot of things. Just by sitting there talking to him, I learned a lot. There was a story he told me about how with each student, he had a board on his window, and every time they was late or they missed, he put an X. And if they got the 3 X's, he told them don't come back.
3 strike rule. Yeah.
Yes. But Godfather's a great guy.
All right. Another question from EA has to do with and I feel like this comes up every 6 months. It has to do with our relationship with Team LeBron and the LeBron gear. Obviously, it's heavy in use with basketball, but I always believed that there was a hope or an intention of that being spread across all sports, similar to what you see with the Jordan brand. What I mean, obviously, what is the future of the LeBron gear? And obviously, we are the first and only. I mean, will it extend into other sports on a more prominent role? other than basketball, or right now is it kind of a shoes thing? What insights can you share with us?
All I can say is that we're hoping and diligently working to try to expand it.
Fair enough. All right, so it's in progress. We working.
Yeah, I can't say too much.
I got you. All right. I got a personal question. It has to do with helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have obviously, when I remember when we did the overhaul of the paint helmets, with the orange helmets, and then we came out, 2018. Okay, and then the white helmets came. Was it after COVID?
White helmets came as I was walking out the door to go to Georgia Southern.
Okay. So so
around the 19 season.
Okay. So I feel like we see more of the white helmets than the orange helmets. Is that because of why is that? Is there any particular reason? Is it easier to manage and care for the white helmets? I was just curious, my own personal curiosity.
Well, it's not more say the care, because during practice, everybody but the quarterback and kickers wear guardian caps.
Okay.
And for those that don't know about guardian caps help reduce the impact of helmet to helmet. But players love the whites.
Okay.
They care more about the whites than the orange.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay.
And I'm a traditionalist. I'm orange. I love the orange helmets.
Me too. Yeah.
I love the orange so much. I wouldn't mind doing the helmet we did when Coach Carter was head coach, when we brought out the throwback uniforms against A&T with the single green stripe down the middle.
Ooh, I remember that.
I wouldn't mind doing that. But I'm an orange helmet guy. The players like the whites.
Have you thought about, in this day and age where I think FAMU has great color combinations. We've oftentimes received from out of the social media sphere, or the uniform praise. By the way, I love the whole uniform thing, the uniform culture. I love it. But I've always wondered, have you thought about, maybe you mentioned a throwback? Have you thought about, is there opportunities? And I guess maybe is this something you have to work with Coach Cozy on, about maybe doing some throwback or having a vintage game where maybe one game a year we able to bring out, when we say bring out, it's not like they're back in a closet somewhere, but just the color scheme of a vintage uniform look. Because we've had some very unique looks that are synonymous with great teams. Have you thought about doing anything like that?
Have I had thoughts? I had thoughts since day one.
Nice.
And there's some uniforms that's crossed my mind. Can I say which ones? No, I don't want to say anything yet, but I wouldn't mind doing a uniform that we do for senior night.
Okay.
An old school uniform that you only see on senior day.
Love that thought.
To pay homage to the Rattlers that came before us.
Nice. I like that idea.
And I wouldn't mind if it said blood, sweat, and tears on the back.
What? Okay.
But
those are ideas that you have to. How many people do you have to sell that idea to in order to make that happen? A long list of people, I would imagine.
It's a long list. I may even have to call Godfather. I don't know.
Oh man, awesome. All right. right, here's one that I think is controversial. EA says, "Oh, the all black uniforms with the black helmet." We haven't seen. How long has it been since we've seen the black uniforms?
We was Russell. we was Russell when we had black, and then we transitioned to Nike and had gray. No, because I remember the first time we brought out the black uniforms at home. No, I don't want another black uniform for football. That ruined it.
Oh, okay. You're on mute, Kelvin. You're on mute. Hold on. I know you got something to say. Go ahead.
Hey, EA being funny too. Trust me.
Oh,
EA ain't a black uniform guy. He one of them old Rattlers too, so he ain't with that black.
Mm-mm.
I remember when that was the craze. That was like a thing. Like everybody started going to the black, and just kind of, yeah.
We play on turf in the state of Florida. No.
Yeah. Freddie J said that our record wearing black is not good. So.
I agree. I can't remember a win in black.
Mm-mm.
That's what Freddie J said. He's like,
yeah.
The blacks are cursed.
Hey, it sold me. I liked the black when we first got them, the effort and everything. But I can't remember a win in them, so the hell with him.
We even wore them in the Florida Classic. Didn't bring us. Mm-mm.
All right. Well, good. I love that. I love that. All right. Brandon, hey, we appreciate your time tonight. Appreciate you coming on and sharing with us. Any last words and thoughts? Maybe anything that we should be looking out for, or just anything you want to share or shout out here as we get ready to wrap up our time with you.
I want to give y'all a shout out for having me on tonight. Want to give a shout out to all the coaches and staff at Florida A&M. Special shout out to my students. If I could go down the list, I would, but I don't think I have enough time to name each one because it's how many people in it? It's 21 people in our group chat. I don't have time to go down, but they know who they are. And without them, I would probably be asleep right now because I would be so tired. But I can't wait to see everybody on Saturday for the spring game. Come out. We want to brag up as much as possible. But before you come to the spring game, come to the softball game. Support our Lady Rattler softball.
Yes.
So just support athletics in general. Mm-hmm. Because we have great student athletes. They go to class every day. They're practicing every day, and they're competing not just for them. They're competing for the name on the front of their uniforms.
Yes.
So let's support them because a lot of them are states and states away from home.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes Rattler Nation to make them feel at home. So can't wait to see y'all on Saturday. And when you see equipment, just say hey to us. We're not strangers. We're nice people. We will shake your hand. If you want to take pictures with us, feel free. And that's all I got to say.
Well, hey, you let all of your students in the chat group know that we appreciate them.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will see as many of them on Saturday, and we thank them for their sacrifice and time and all they do to represent FAMU and to help all of our athletic programs and to make FAMU look great so that the kids can play great and that overall we are great. So thank you to tell them to share the show with a friend, and we will see them on Saturday. All right.
All right. And if you're there, come find us. We'll take a picture with you so we can put it on social media.
Got it. That's
done.
What we done. Exactly. We're gonna look for it. We're gonna look for y'all. We're gonna look for y'all on Saturday.
Okay.
All right. Brandon, thank you for your time tonight. Be well, man. Get some sleep. You got me tired. You got me wanting to be tired. So at least get a couple hours in, man.
I'll get like 2.
Look at the hardest working man at Florida A&M University, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your time and your sacrifice. And
Thanks, Brandon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Oh man, that was cool. How cool is that, man? Good to see that the love and the tradition with our equipment team carries over from Donald to Brandon. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yep.
A good hire there by AD Suggs. So good stuff. Good stuff. Let's take a short break. Come back, Marcus. You got your stuff ready for us?
I hope so, depending on what questions are being asked. But yeah.
All right. Well, coming back after the break, we'll give us quick mention. Tennis went 2-0 over the past couple of matches. Got a little intel regarding golf, and some track and field athletes were SWAC players. SWAC athletes of the week. So we'll try to get to all of that, and in a good recruiting fashion, because I know Marcus will be out the door.
And recruiting.
And recruiting. Coming up next, recruiting info. Marcus Green leading the show, driving the ship. Coming up here on the other side. You're watching O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We will be back in just a moment.
It's like a loot machine. Going around town trying to get down. It's like a loot machine.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia from She Say Sports. Make sure to check us out every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on Black College Sports Network, YouTube, and Linktree. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page.
Welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus here, joining you tonight. All right, so a little potpourri of some different things to get into. I know Marcus has got his recruiting update and information here ready to go. All right. Marcus, do you wanna run through recruiting stuff or you want me to get through the potpourri stuff from track, golf, tennis?
Let's do the recruiting.
All right.
And actually I have slides, but I forgot to upload them. So I don't know if I can share. Let me see if I can share.
You should have the ability.
Share the screen.
Hollow asked a question while he's getting that together. Maybe you can answer this question, one of you guys, or Kelvin. Hollow asked, should we be worried about the high level of offers going out? Being that we already have 92 players and 15 high school kids coming in. We must be expecting portal losses.
Well, yeah, I would say no, not worried, because I'd imagine that a lot of other schools are doing the same thing, because we're in a new era. I mean, we have 92 players, but there's no guarantee. And I guess the final evaluation this week of how many of those 92 are actually going to be staying or being asked to leave or might find. So putting out offers, and the offers that have been put out, a lot of them been to seem like special teams and offensive linemen. And we seem to have a special penchant for Coffeyville Community College out in Kansas, because it seems like 4 or 5 players we've offered over the last month or so. So I'd imagine they're just laying some groundwork for the portal opening next week and players coming free. But also, when we were going through the first signing period, we've hired 4 new coaches. So there may be some relationships and some philosophies and some player styles and sizes that may better fit what the new coaches envision.
Yeah, and I'll just add that, there's probably like 3 bullet points to, the offers. One is with the transfer portal and NIL, you just don't know what you don't know. So, you don't want to get caught flat-footed. If you do lose, folks feel that way. But then you also have to think about, we have some players that perhaps, scholarships are year to year. And we get into the end of the semester. Maybe some folks hadn't academically did do what they need to do, or, coaches kind of have a different vision, or they want more playing time, whatever the case may be. So you got to anticipate you may lose, a couple that way. And then when you got a team, you kind of know what your core is, and you got a lot of players returning. The reason you see those positions specifically, because the coaches don't want, when the expectations are high and they think they got a championship level team, they don't want to miss on the details. If you think you need, one start on the offensive line and some depth there, then you're gonna spread it and you're gonna cast the net wide, right? Because there's a lot of other teams doing the same thing that you're competing against. So it's building your talent level, building your depth, and really at this point the offers are the players, not freshmen. The offers right now are to players that you have playing experience, who you think can come and help you this season to win a championship. So that's kind of a few bullet points there. And I'll just also mention that at the Orange and Green game this week, we will have a lot of high school recruits, juniors, upcoming juniors and seniors in high school. There'll be a group of kids there. So we definitely want them to have a good feeling, great visit, great atmosphere. The weather should be really beautiful out there. And we hopefully are programming them to be future Rattlers.
Man, that's a tough one. Kylan, you remember Brecky and Harold. What was that from out of Chaminade, Madonna, I believe it was. Damn, I hate to see that he's at Bama State. Yikes.
Yeah, and Coach Colsey was gushing about him signing day last year.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Remember what I just said. It's a little bit easier to get in that Bama State.
Oh, wow.
And maintain.
Wow. All right, let's see. Marcus, I think I got your your graphic here. If you want to, are you on full screen here?
No, I scroll through this. Hopefully, I'm not sure how it's rendering. Hopefully, it's showing.
I don't know if you can go to PowerPoint preview mode. Go to preview mode. Far right. Right there next to the red button, to the left of that red button.
This?
Yeah, to the left of, what is that, preview mode or something? Slideshow format?
Okay. Yeah, I could from the beginning, but I don't know if it's going to show because I'm not showing the. We'll try it. Can you still see that? Is it full screen?
Yeah, nothing changed.
Okay, no, it didn't. Well, we'll just go with this. But I mean, some of this is a recap because I don't know if we've had any more softball commits, but it looks like we have 4 adding to the roster in the class of 2025, at least from the high school ranks. So we have Amaya Ramos, and all of these young ladies are signed. Erin Polite, Nathalie Williams, and Nairi James. Volleyball, Kristen Moore, and actually I think we went over this a couple weeks ago. Kristen Moore signed in November, but her sister, and I'm assuming twin sister, committed maybe about a month ago. Victoria Santana's a transfer. Brandy Boston, she's high school. And Alexandra Moore, she committed in March. And another young lady I know we talked about, LaDonna Trantham, she was committed to, who was it? Someone out in California. I want to say Cal State Bakersfield, but coach convinced her to come to Florida. And he also mentioned back when he came on the show, and I'm still trying to find it, he mentioned someone was coming in that week. It was like the week after signing day, but I still haven't seen anything. So I don't know. That implies another transfer, but I've not seen any hints. And I didn't see anything in the college volleyball transfer listing, a very similar listing to what Liv keeps. So I'm still keeping an eye out for that, if that's true. Baseball. So far, I only have one commitment from last year, Jamarcus Benton from Jefferson, but I haven't seen anything else coming through for baseball for 2025. Track and field, we actually had a commitment, an offer earlier today, but these are only for commitments. So another recap, Lauren Thomas out of Archbishop Carroll in D.C., Franklin Niwa Jafari out of Australia, and I think he's here at a prep school. But there were a couple others that we had offers out to, and I know one young lady, she committed to the University of Florida, and she was running track and sprints at the Burris School in Maryland, and she was very highly touted, so I hate that she got away. Basketball, Xana Justice, she signed in November, but she was in the state title game this year. Let's see.
What year is she? Because I think at this point, with all of anybody from the women's basketball, mentioned their.
All of these are freshmen.
Okay, thank you.
All of I haven't seen any transfers commit as of yet. Liv may know; she might know some information, but I haven't seen anything on social media, which is my primary source. Xander,
if I'm Marcus, we only really have one young lady on roster still who hasn't either exhausted
two.
Transfer.
I'm guessing we have a true freshman, Kayla Massey. I think she played for Reball. And I'm assuming the young lady that transferred in, her name slips my mind right now. I believe she came from the point guard that was injured.
Purifoy.
Yes. I haven't seen anything. Okay. I haven't seen her name listed yet, but once again, Liv may know. But she may those may be the two survivors. Naya Rhodes, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Out of Clarkville Christian, Brooklyn Swan, out of Hunter Huss in North Carolina. Once again, these are high. And Cornelia Ellington, she committed about a month ago.
Yep.
Out of Atlanta.
Seen on Instagram, I saw the on Instagram that she came in, did the photo shoot. So that was cool.
Yes, and between her, I think, if I'm correct, I can't remember if they played each other or if they were on other sides of the bracket. We were both Miss Ellington at Langston Hughes and Xander Justice at Milton. I believe there were others. They may have played each other on the opposite side of the bracket for Class 5A. I'll say it's Class 5A, the women's basketball. Men's basketball, the newest, probably the newest information that folks, Antonio Munoz, an athletic wing out of Chicago, Whitney Young, and back in the day, for those who came in with me back in the late 80s, we had a pretty strong athletic and academic, or actually mostly academic pipeline to Whitney Young High School in Chicago. And the other day, Jamil Mutalib coming over from App State, another guard that goes about 6'6", 165. And those are the ones that I've seen so far for our Olympic sports.
I believe the transfer portal closes when, Kelvin? Is it the 25th of April, I think I recall?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Okay. And I will say, again, one of the things we have to take into account with the basketball is that, and probably even with all of these sports, is that right now basketball is the main window because of the sport season coming to an end and when this portal season is. But, you know, there's a lot of inflated NIL evaluations, right? I mean, that's been documented and discussed, where even at this year's Final Four, guys were trying to, college programs were trying to sign guys at numbers that, you know, you might look and say, I don't know if he's really worth that, but what the heck, right now we can pay him that before they institute a salary cap in college athletics. You know, let's go ahead and get this guy paid. So all of that's happening right now.
Yeah, that's powerful stuff. That ain't us.
Right. Well, I say it. Well, here's how it affects us, though, because until those rosters get filled, guys at the lower levels who have those champagne and caviar dreams and wishes, those desires won't get filled until those spots are gone. So where we are is that next tier of guys. And so, coaches are out recruiting. I mean, coaches are trying to convince guys as best as they can that, hey, this is a good spot you want to be at, but I understand if you are someone who thinks that you have a better shot somewhere else.
So, Bryan, about the transfer portal wonder for the spring. Now, if your coach left, y'all don't automatically got 30 days, so it doesn't apply. But for all the other, if your coach didn't leave it, then the wonder is from the 16th through the 25th of April.
March 16th to April 25th. Right.
No, spring window was from April 16th to April 25th.
But it's open right now, though, is it not?
No, only if your coach left or moved.
Oh, so you're talking football.
Okay, yeah. I think what sport are we talking here?
Yeah, I'm talking football. Yes.
Okay. I was talking basketball, but I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the one in the football window and the reason that date is basically that's after your spring football date. Mm-hmm. So, heck, if I were a coach, well, you can't do this, but you could push that practice back. But I know they want to get it done. All right, Marcus, you got another slide there. It looks like, right?
Yes, just update on football. And I know we talked about this, but I didn't have the slide ready. We talked about it maybe a month ago. But we have 3. I know I've been looking around trying to understand who are the high school athletes that Coach Colsey mentioned last time he was on. And we've had this information for a while, but we had 3 players from Mariana High School that committed to FAM, presumably, and once again, no confirmation, presumably preferred walk-ons, or so they may fit some of that 10 to 15 high school players that they're trying to bring in that Coach Colsey mentioned a couple weeks ago. So we have two wide receivers and a quarterback or athlete. So Kenyon Holden goes around 6'4". I'm assuming it's the young man on the far left. We have Ruben Mays, assuming he's the young man in the middle. He's a quarterback athlete. And Jacoby Hall's going 6'7". So I'm assuming he's the young man on the far right, just by the listing. All from Mariana High School and assigned to FAMU. And we have recent commitment, Emilio Bacardi out of Lake Mary High School. He committed today, but he was initially offered, he was coming up for the spring practice, and then he got an offer about roughly 2 weeks ago, around the last week in March, and he verbally committed today. And his team played Venice in the most recent Class 7A state title game, and they ended up losing to Venice High School. And we got a commitment from a transfer long snapper, Alex Moscoso, out of Doral Academy, class of 2024, and his first year is at Florida Memorial. So I know that Coach mentioned last time he was on that they redshirted, I believe it was Lawrence Martinez, who was our long snapper 2 years ago, and they redshirted so that Baylor Payne could get some playing time, but Lawrence Martinez is going to use up his last year this year. So I guess this is preparing for the future. And it seems like, I don't know, the last couple of years, we put a few offers out to long snappers and kickers, and there's just been like a flurry of offers to kickers as well. Not only this spring period, but we had two, not only Mr. Riccardi, but there was a young man out of Etowah High School in Georgia that we put an offer out to. We don't know where that stands, but we do know that Coach Colsey has emphasized not only accuracy in the kicking department, but also someone who has a strong enough leg so that we can achieve more touchbacks and not have to, or not succumb to having to kick to our opponent's return people. So I guess they're going through that. And this is, once again, speaks to competition that's going to be going on during the spring, but also the fact that we'll have a roster limit. So we have about 4 or 5 kickers that they're kicking the tires on, no pun intended. And, whoever the best person is going to win the spot. And then someone else is going to be available for another team to look at.
All right.
And basketball, men and women basketball transfer portal open on March 24th and closes on the 22nd of April.
So it's the 22nd. Okay.
So we've got about 13
more weeks. Yeah, 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Again, Live for Hoops. Go check out the rundown of the HBCU portal active players. Men, women, Division I, Division II, all in one convenient spot. That's Live for Hoops, LIVFORHOOPS. So that's our girl, Liv. Go check her site out. I wonder if there's a Live for Hoops on the volleyball circuit. Is there like a Live for Spikes?
Live for HBCU volleyball or volleyball in general?
Whatever. Live for Kills. There you go. Live for Kills. I don't know how that would go over, but I don't know.
In terms of a portal site that has
like somebody who's
Google,
doing that. I mean, that's a window, right? I mean,
there is. There's a site that I go to called College Volleyball Transfers.
Well, there you go.
They don't have. I've not seen, at least they don't have a podcast presence, but they keep a Google sheet of players who've entered the portal and their final location. So that I usually check that every couple of weeks or so to see if there's someone out there. For whatever reason, volleyball players may or may not. Maybe it's because they're on Instagram, and I'm not really on Instagram. But it's hard to find info on volleyball players. They're not pushing out the info as much as I've seen for football and basketball.
It's just not covered the same,
Well, I'm talking about individual players putting out, "Hey, I'm transferring or I'm committing." I haven't seen it on X. I've seen it more on.
Oh, you mean they're not posting 3-paragraph farewells and well, I want to thank so and so, thank my teammates, thank God, my coaches, all the people that I've been around for the last 7-8 months. You know, they're not doing that on volleyball.
I've not seen a lot of that. That's why I go to college volleyball transfers and just check their list every couple of weeks.
Knock on wood, Hero Sports has that FCS to FBS list that they put out and keep tracking. I think about every 3 weeks they update it or so.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking at that, you know, there's a lot of HBCUs that do have players who've gotten in the portal, and I mean UAPB had like 3, I think, maybe 4 that have left UAPB and got FBS offers. You know,
so they had 3 studs. They had 3 legit studs on that team, right?
Yeah. Yes. So and I know Tennessee State done had a few. Knock on wood. FAMU is not
harder.
FAMU is not on that list right now.
Knock harder, Kelvin. Knock harder.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting note that I saw that, Kelvin, when you said that earlier. I was like, oh, okay. And it didn't really dawn on it. And they haven't updated our transfer list of people who have left the program. So it's probably a couple months old, maybe around signing day. But I've not seen any new entrants. Well, we may see some after this weekend. After this weekend, but I haven't seen any since I want to say February. I have to go back and pull up that PowerPoint as well. On the football side, basketball, it's a whole other thing.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, good stuff as always, Marcus. Hey, one final thought here, and I don't know, maybe you guys, if you see it, maybe it's something we can mention. What sport has the fewest number of transfer portal, like, per population? Like, you know, it seems like when I did the HBCU market, for example, HBCU Division I men, I counted almost 1/3 of the potential. You know, if you took 15-man rosters, 300-something players across the 23 schools, over 100 were in the portal. I'm like, so that's, then you say that's about 30%, somewhere in 35%. Like, which sport has the lowest number of transfer portal kids? EA says, I don't know, is that a volleyball symbol that he just posted?
It's like baseball.
Baseball. Yeah, I'm just curious. Like, if you ever come across that, or who's done those numbers, like who's the fewest?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know.
Just something to look out for. I don't know. I'm not asking.
It's probably a lot harder to track because the non-revenue generating sports don't have any restrictions and really never have been regulated by the NCAA. Most of the transfer rules center around revenue generating sports. So, like, you know, tennis and golf and all those, they've been doing it the whole time. So I imagine it's a little bit more difficult to track. That is a good question though. That one I would have to. I'm gonna look around a little bit and see what I can shake loose.
A couple people answered bowling. Jimmy Mack bowling, Edwin Moore bowling. Really interesting. Okay. All right, golf update. Our men's golf team were in Nashville, Tennessee, Monday and Tuesday for the Big Blue Invitational, which I believe is the final tune-up before the SWAC tournament, which begins on Monday. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. All right. No objections. So I think I'm on point there. Arkansas Pine Bluff ended up winning won the team title by 3 strokes with a score of 848, finishing 3 strokes over UT Martin, and also finishing 10 strokes ahead of Southern Indiana. But guess who came in 4th place? 12 strokes behind UAPB. That would be none other than FAMU. Now, I don't have any other info to add, so we haven't seen any updates on the FAMU athletics site. And trying to track this down was, I had to do some old investigative journalism to try to find this info. We know UAPB is the two-time defending champs. And if you remember our conversation with, Coach Rice, he said that was the team that we have to be able. And I feel like he was saying we have to be able to have a good opening round. And I don't know what the numbers are, but I wonder if we just had a bad opening round in that tournament, the Big Blue Invitational, and then kind of settled down, had a good round 2 and 3, or was it something else? So I know the team will leave for Birmingham on Sunday, and Monday and Tuesday they'll battle for a SWAC tournament, and I'm sure UAPB will be in the mix again.
Yep.
And so that again was the TSU Big Blue Invitational, Jimmy, that I was just talking about. The HBCU Invitational in Napa, we talked about that with Coach Rice, did we not? What did we won that, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or did we finish 2nd and 3rd? What do you recall, Kelvin or Marcus? I don't know if we actually won it. No, we didn't win. You know what happened? We finished the best among HBCUs.
HBCUs, right.
Unfortunately, that was like 10th best overall. So, yeah, that's how we did out in Napa. Speaking about a program getting ready and tuned up for SWAC tournament championship season, none other than tennis. Tennis finished the regular season, the SWAC season, with a 6-2 record after picking up a pair of wins against Grambling, in which they beat Grambling 4-1. And then back home on senior night, or senior day, senior match, they defeated Bethune-Cookman for love. So now I'm going to look at the standings here very quickly. What are the dates on that, Kelvin, while I pull up this? What are the dates again for tennis?
What, a tournament?
Tournament, yes. It begins next weekend, or the 18th, April 18th through the 20th. And the standings as of right now, we actually finished, let me see, is this 25? Yep. We finished in a tie for either a tie for 3rd or a tie for 2nd. I don't know. We finished with the 3rd. We finished with the 2nd most wins with 7. But, Alabama State, who came in 1st place, they're 8-1. Jackson State is 7-1. And then Alabama A&M and us, we are 7-2. So at worst, we are the 4 seed. At best, I guess we could be a 3 seed.
We should have a tiebreak over A&M.
What about Jackson State, though?
No, they beat us head to head by 1.
Okay. All right. Okay. So again, April 18th through the 20th, and we'll kind of look to see what happens there. Final sport to get to and mention is track and field. Last weekend, they had the Pepsi Florida Relays in Gainesville at the University of Florida. And really the two main men of note from the men's outdoor side were the two men who were named the SWAC Men's Outdoor Track and Field Athletes of the Week, none other than Kirk Dawkins and Paul Roden. And it was most likely because this was a loaded field, and Paul finished 4th overall in the high jump with 2.16 meters. Again, 4th overall, big time college programs. And then in the long jump, Paul finished 5th with a jump of 7.35 meters. All right, so good performances in the high and the long. And then who was the other one again? Kirk. Kirk's best performance was in the 800 meters, where he finished 17th overall with a time of 1:48.89. I'm assuming that's 1 minute 48 seconds, 0.89. The best performance that I see from any of the ladies was Nia Blocker. She finished 15th overall in the 200-meter dash with a 23.31 time. In the 1,500-meter run, Tara Burt, 4 minutes 40 seconds, 0.72. 15th overall. Alicia Douglas, 4:43.63, was 19th overall. Lacey DeBoski finished 22nd overall. So,
shout out to North Carolina A&T 4x4. They finished first. They won the 4x4 relay.
Oh wow. Okay. Track program is let me see, where are they running next? The Tom Jones Memorial Invitational back in Gainesville, April 18th through 19th. So that's next weekend. They're back in Gainesville. Nothing this weekend. They're back in Gainesville. And then they go to the Penn Relays in Philadelphia, April 24th through the 26th. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. All right. Final thoughts. Anything you want to finally add on or mention, Marcus?
No, I guess the excitement is this weekend. So we get a preview of, if you're live, football, and then just everything is just converging this weekend. So it's going to be a lot to report on next week, and just looking forward to it.
All right. Yeah, shout out to FAMU Club Soccer. Shout out to those guys. What do you got, Kelvin?
Well, championship season is upon us for spring sports now, outside of baseball and softball, which is just at the halfway point. So I'll be looking forward to ordering some more rings shortly.
Okay. Look at you. I will just kind of close the show and mention the recent 1887 strikes. The FAMU Day of Giving came to an end. You know me, I'm usually glass half full guy, or at least I try to come off that way. Might be kind of hard. While we as a university met the goal of 100% of their target, in total, FAMU raised $337,000, $537.55.
In how many days?
Yes, in a day and a half.
Okay.
1,887 minutes. I get it.
Perspective.
Okay. I mean, but how? Okay, perspective. But anyway, there's something to that. What am I comparing it? You asked me. You say that. What am I comparing it to? What's the normal period of giving? The whole idea of this is to quickly activate people. You know, I think I put it like this. I saw more of y'all dancing with fans and two-stepping than I did see posting about the donations that were made. You know, everybody was two-stepping and smacking fans, but you know, in total, 2,722 folks donated.
That's about that's nothing to poo-poo at.
Among athletics, athletics only hit 38% of its $50,000 goal among 235 donors. You know, I think we have 235 season ticket holders in football. I think we do.
So here we've had this discussion. So we're gonna have this discussion real quick because Marcus has to go.
I'm just hold on.
But you ain't gonna. I'm not gonna let you put it out there with our audience and not challenge. You can finish it after I say what I got to say.
Why wouldn't you let me finish and then you challenge?
So the bottom line is this. We have to, and when I say we, I'm not just talking FAMU, I'm talking about HBCUs in general. We have to value the art of building relationships, and you build those relationships not, you know, for 2 days when you're trying to get people to give. You build it over a period of time. And there's a real issue with how we, you know, you can't shame people into giving, right? I gave to two different things. I gave to Kenyon Sykes Black Dollar Giving, and I gave to AD Suggs. Why? Because I have a relationship with them. All right. So all I'm saying is relationships matter. If you and you know, and then you said something about what you comparing to. That is the question. What you comparing to? Who else raising more money than in that period of time? All right. Scalability. So I'm just saying, I think it's a positive thing. I'm glad they did the ask, but we got to cultivate these relationships year round, and we got to stop being so cliquish, and more people give. Period. All right, I'm done.
I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm just pointing out numbers, which I'm disappointed in the numbers. Even if you had told me we had 500 donors,
that's not a plan, though.
Well,
you look at something and you say you're disappointed. That's not a plan. What I'm telling you is, when you don't have a plan, when you fail to plan, then of course you plan to fail. So I'm just saying,
I thought we had a plan.
While the ask is great, again, build some relationships throughout the year. Do some things that acknowledge people who do give to multiple causes and make them feel good about giving. And then you can stop bringing up, you know, I'm disappointed by the numbers. Hell, what you doing about it then? That's my thing. Solution. I ain't talking about you, and I'm not talking about you personally. I'm just saying, you know, I'm not disappointed by the numbers because the numbers represent the effort that's been put forward to cultivate people to giving. You know, it's more than just running your mouth and say give. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should give. It's a science to this thing until we appreciate and start implementing some of those things that help people give. Then the numbers are the numbers. Period.
All right. We will table this. I'd love to discuss more, but our time is short.
Yeah.
So again, we look forward to seeing everybody on Saturday. Those of you that are going to be at this the spring game. Again, make sure to get locked in. There will be a live post-game show with Vaughn Wilson, HBCU Game Day, myself, Kelvin, maybe even a few other special guests during the course of the post game. So we really look forward to that. I want to wish everybody safe travels to Tallahassee, especially if you're going to be tailgating. Please make sure that you find time to get over to the softball game this weekend. We wish all of our teams well, and yeah, good stuff. Reminder, please make sure to hit the thumbs up and the like button, however and wherever you are watching our show. We appreciate all of you, everyone in the family that's watching our show, and however and wherever you're watching us. Please make sure you follow at ONG StrikeZone, at my BCS1, the Black College Sports Network. Those of you on our YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe. And also make sure to go check out the BCSN Pod Zone on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, and everywhere that you listen to podcasts. Download, share, etc., etc. BCSN Pod Zone is where you can find us. All right. Thanks to Brandon Randolph for joining us tonight. And next week, Dennis Driscoll already booked for next week. So we'll look forward to introducing you to another new member of the FAMU Athletics staff under AD Suggs. So that's going to do it. For Marcus and Kelvin, I'm Bryan. Thanks for watching us. Make sure to follow, hit us up on all of our spots. Have a great week. See you in Tallahassee on Saturday. Fangs up. Make sure to strike, and
strike a tiger again.
Well said. Peace out.
Thank you.